federal workers now have until Monday to decide whether to take a buyout after a Clinton-appointed judge extended that deadline.
I hope it ends there, too. The move comes as nearly all USAID employees are reported to be laid off tonight, with unions now suing the Trump administration over the sweeping cuts. They'll be out for over 1,000 to 300.
It's unbelievable. Lucas Tomlinson joins us live from Washington with the details. Good morning, Lucas.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Well, if you're a federal worker on the fence about taking the buyout, you have some more time to think it over. Not the case for thousands of USAID workers who face a midnight deadline tonight. Here's Secretary of State Marco Rubio on the cuts.
We're not trying to be disruptive to people's personal lives. We're not being punitive here. But this is the only way we've been able to get cooperation from USAID. I had preferred not to do it this way. When we tried to do it from the top down, by getting cooperation from the central office of USAID, what we found instead are people trying to use the system to sneak through payments and push through payments despite the stop order. The United States will be providing foreign aid, but it is going to be foreign aid that makes sense and is aligned with our national interest.
Now, USAID is being folded into the State Department, who plans to keep only about 290 employees. More than 10,000 will lose their jobs tonight at midnight. Unions representing the workers say these actions have generated a global humanitarian crisis by abruptly halting the crucial work of USAID employees, grantees, and contractors. They have cost thousands of American jobs, and they have imperiled U.S. national security interests. Now, the U.S. Office of Personnel Management says, in compliance with court order, the deadline for federal employees to accept the deferred resignation program is being extended to Monday, February 10th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. The program is not being blocked or canceled. The government will honor the deferred resignation offer. Now, we've put together a list of some of the things USAID is spending money on with your taxpayer dollars. Perhaps we get a few more turns on the scroll there. 1 million gender diverse support in Bangladesh, 1.8 million for Honduran LGBT group. Some of the bigger ticket items, 15 million for condoms to the Taliban, 19 millions assisting migrants in Colombia. The list goes on and on. As you can see here, 3.3 million for a Caribbean LGBT group, 29 million for young and female working Egyptians, and 14.9 million for supporting LGBTQ youth in Cambodia, and 49 million for improving reading scores in Zambia. Now, some lawmakers on Capitol Hill, guys, seem to support USAID, and that includes Mississippi Senator Roger Wicker, who says USAID is important to countering Chinese influence, but he also acknowledges some of these spending programs are a bit wasteful, guys.
Right. Thanks so much, Lucas.
Thanks, Lucas.
Thank you,
So
Lucas.
you would think it might work to their benefit to point out some of the programs that are dubious, to point out other ones that are necessary. But instead, they want to condemn people for bringing it up. When, as Mark Thiessen writes today with Perspective, he said Warren Christopher, Secretary of State under Bill Clinton, was the first to say, these guys are out of control. Let's fold them into the State Department. Al Gore was going to do it, but he got massive pushback from USAID, and they said, OK, we'll fold. Senator Joni Ernst said, what are you guys spending your money on? You're looking as though you're not even going for American causes. You're going for anti-American causes. They threatened her. They told her to back off. And as Peggy Noonan writes, she says, of all the agencies being batted around, this one will remember the first one will recall the period in history of the U.S. agencies for international development. Some of whose line items were spending was devoted to cultural imperialism. You have seen the list. USAID produced DEI musical in Ireland and everything we just saw. She says, when you look at what they are pushing in the world, you think they're not fighting anti-American feelings. They are causing anti-American feelings.
Well, Ainsley, I'm stunned that they have allowed the Republicans now to be the party of the people. And when I say the people, I mean the American people. If there was an argument to be made of some program internationally that you want to fight for, you could just go to the president or White House and say, can we at least just keep this program? But that's not the argument that they're making. They want to keep all of the programs from the USA, even though it's fraud, waste, and abuse going on, in place. And I just don't think this is... Of course they're not going to win against the Republicans, but they're not going to win with the American people. They're not going to have all these Americans calling and protesting to keep programs from foreign governments.
You're going to have progressive people that want to keep all of those programs, that whole scroll of list. But the common sense, middle of the road, Democrat or Republican is going to say, and all the Republican Party is going to say, stop wasting our money. We're in debt. We're giving money to these programs that we don't agree with to other countries. They don't need these programs. Some of them, yes, maybe. And there's an argument for that. If it's feeding children or if it's preventing HIV from a child from getting HIV and they're allowing to send that drug over or the malaria drug, I get it. But these programs, I mean, it's so much waste. And the Democrats, what are they scared of? Are they scared to save money? Are they scared that we'll pull back the curtain and actually see how progressive these Democrats really are? They don't want this done, and it just baffles most Americans.
So here's Joe Rogan saying, hey, guys, this is what America voted for.
What's fascinating right now is we're getting a chance to see what happens when you take a business approach to the government. The same people that say we need radical change.
Right.
We need radical change. We've got corruption. We need radical change. Okay, well, here's your radical change. We don't need this, but you do.
Yeah.
The government does. They need oversight, and they haven't had that. And because of that, you're seeing this. Not just waste. You could call it waste, but it's deeper. It's deeper than waste. It's corruption. And you're seeing that corruption get weeded out.
Some of the people working for Elon Musk Group, Doge, are in their 20s. So what is wrong with 20-year-olds? Have you talked to them in terms of being the Silicon Valley is populated by mostly 20-year-olds, 20 to 30-year-olds. This is their generation. This is intuitive to them. They're great at it, and they help Elon Musk build 7 major companies to make him the richest person in the world. So between 40 and 60,000 workers have applied for the 6-month buyout. So they're examining whether we can do that or not. Bottom line is, our federal structure is too big, so in any company, you have to pare it down. When your number one expenditure is paying the debt on money you owe, this has to be the focus. But if you look at the left, all they're doing is mocking Elon Musk, one of the smartest, richest people in the world, and ripping 20-year-olds because they're examining the Treasury. So I hope the judges don't get in the way of this paring down and slimming down of the government.
Well, I just know the executive branch has large discretion over these funds. And when I look at all the crises in America that we're currently experiencing, we can go all the way back to Ohio, East Palestine. Were there protests advocating for those people? Have there been protests in Los Angeles for the rebuild? North Carolina, have we seen people assemble to give those folks the funds that they need? They have not. And I think it's a slap in the face of the American people. And one viewer came on the Martha show yesterday, and I'm not saying this is true, but the viewer said, are they getting money? Like, why are they so passionate? For the average day American at home, this is an independent voter. She's like, why are they like this? Are they getting kickbacks or something? They're so passionate about this money.
Next up, the NGOs. They're examining what's going on there.
Oh, we need that, right? Okay, and Joe Rogan's right. It's corruption. It's more than waste.